Yo, what is going on, everybody? It is yours truly, the Ace, here with my guy. Have you seen that with T is in the building? T, how you doing, my guy?
Man, I'm doing great. That countdown gets me hype. Like I don't know, man. That countdown just gets me ready. Let's do this, man.
Yeah, you know what? I was a little thrown off. I'm kind of used to the Yankee one, and all of a sudden when that one comes in, I'll be making a movie one soon though, like a quick little movie intro. But it kind of threw me off a little bit. But yeah, man, thank you for having me on. And in today's video, we will be discussing the trailers that dropped during yesterday's Super Bowl. Now, some of them actually dropped a couple of days before the Super Bowl, and then they kind of like re-showed it a little bit. But overall, we'll be talking. That's what we tongue tied. Overall, that's what we will be discussing today. Before we get into it though, T, overall, what was your thoughts on the Super Bowl, the trailers, the commercials? Any thoughts on it?
It was lame. It was not a good year. I mean, the game was a game. Like two teams played. I mean, one team played, the other team showed up.
Yeah, right.
Um, the commercials were weird. Like I feel like that everybody's trying to push the envelope with the commercials. There were a few funny ones, but for the most part, I mean, the trailers were very short. Like we were talking about, like I didn't see a lot of them because I mean, maybe I was in the bathroom. I don't know. Like it was very, very teaser like trailers. Um, so it just wasn't. It didn't feel right. I would say that.
Yeah, I'm right there with you. Before we get into it, thank you, my guy Brandon Shea, for being a member for 17 months. Appreciate you, my guy. Make sure you guys hit that like button, hit that subscribe, and make sure you subscribe to my guy. Have you seen that with T? But I'm right there with you. This year, like I felt like the Super Bowl commercials periodically are getting worse and worse over the years. Maybe it's because we're getting a little bit older. You know what I'm saying? That's usually your line right there.
Yeah.
But yeah, it just doesn't seem like they're that entertaining. And the trailers themselves were kind of, I don't want to say a letdown, but they're just not as hype as they used to be in years past. Like, because we kind of were like excited and we kind of knew, and they were kind of bigger trailers. This year was a lot of short trailers for some reason. So we're gonna go ahead and get right into it. We're gonna start off with this Superman trailer. This one was actually advertised on the Puppy Bowl. So I don't know if you saw that or not. Did you see that?
I avoid the puppy bowl at all costs. My wife loves the puppy bowl, but this year I was locked in on Fox, man. So I did not check out the puppy bowl.
Yeah, same. I didn't check out the Puppy Bowl either, but I know what happened about it. And it kind of seemed like they didn't show us anything that we didn't already see, with the exception of a bad bowl cut pun based around Guy Gardner, Nathan Fillion's hair. And I kind of felt like they dropped the ball tremendously, because how do you have a Superman trailer for the Puppy Bowl and you're not showing crypto? You're not having showing us at least new footage revolved around crypto at all. Like, I'm like, dude, that was an easy opportunity for you to get some hype over that, and you like dropped the ball.
I mean, I think crypto is going to be one of the biggest selling points of this movie. Now, I'm not a dog person, I'm not a dog lover, but everyone who's watched that first trailer, like that's the most positive, the positivity that we've got from that first trailer was crypto. Everybody, like when you watch people's reaction, once they see crypto, everybody's eyes just lights up. So yeah, the fact that during the Puppy Bowl they don't have something lined up, especially if that's that you're going to, that's going to be your bread and butter. Yeah, that's definitely a missed opportunity by James Gunn, who's usually he's really ahead of a lot of this stuff, and that's a rare miss on his behalf.
Yeah, they're usually spot on with the marketing, but this time they kind of dropped the ball. So that was just a little bit right there, but poorly planned. All right,
Yeah.
then that brings us to another short one that we got, which I actually thought was very creative. The Lilo and Stitch commercial. Did you get a chance to check that one out?
So I checked it. So I saw people posting about it after it happened. So then I went to YouTube and I checked it out. Very smart move, by the way. Like
I
that,
agree.
that's how you play into the big game, right? I mean, they have a fight in Superman inside of a stadium, like inside of some type of sporting arena. Put that in there somewhere. Like have some type of tie into the Super Bowl, because this is the biggest sporting event in America, at least. So them doing that with Lilo and Stitch, I thought that was genius. That was a very smart move by Disney.
Same, and it was fun. It was just quick, easy, fun. Now, granted, this is the I think third or fourth marketing promo that they've done when it comes to Lilo and Stitch. Like we still haven't seen anything. They're kind of just doing gimmicks and bits at this point. But I did feel like that was a good one. I thought it was great, easy marketing commercial. I thought it was very creative, and like I said, it was just something that you could easily just do one, two, three.
I think Lilo and Stitch is going to like. I hate saying anything negative about Disney because Moana 2 made $1 billion. Like it's really hard to go against them.
Mm-hmm.
But like you said, we haven't seen anything from Lilo and Stitch. Which I mean, from I think it's gonna be a shot for shot, like live action to the animation. So it's not much that you haven't seen if you've seen the movie already. Same thing with how you train your dragon. Like it's gonna be very similar. So showing something, I mean, it might bring up the nostalgia, but I'm not worried. But I'm very intrigued to see how it's gonna do after Moana 2, because I never expected that to make $1 billion.
Yeah, I kind of feel like it's hard to mess up, especially if you're going to do shot for shot. I would have been more concerned with how he looked, but from what we've seen, he looks
Oh yeah.
good. Like
Oh yeah.
he looks like Stitch. Obviously, it always reminds me. It always makes me think of like when we first saw Sonic, when Sonic first came out, the first
Ugly
design.
Sonic.
And I mean, but thank goodness they, Paramount decided that they actually listened to us and was like, we're gonna fix this. But Disney, right out the gate, they're not messing around. You know what I'm saying? It looks just like him. And like I said, this was a very creative commercial. I'm not even gonna say it's a trailer, but it's something that we talk about. I'm just curious to see when are they gonna actually drop some footage, because have you seen any of the actresses? Because all I've seen are is Stitch.
No, I've not seen like Lilo and Stitch is one of those movies my kids have watched, but it's not like big in my house, right? It's not Frozen. If they were doing a live action Frozen, I'll probably have Frozen posters
That's
behind
coming.
me or something. Like, yeah, it's coming, but once you know it's coming, that's gonna be. I feel like that's gonna be a bigger deal. And I spoke about this before. I think the cultural impact of Lilo and Stitch, think it's hindering it, especially where we are right now and how people view Disney. Unfortunately, not saying it's right, but I feel like that's why they're not really focusing on everyone other than Stitch. They're trying to get the kids to see something cute on the screen, and let's get them out there, and hopefully the parents have seen Lilo and Stitch before, so they know what they're getting into. But they're just trying to entice young kids. Hey, it's something that's wild. I know if my son if he saw that commercial yesterday, he would be going crazy right now. He would want to go see it right now.
Yeah, like I said, fun, very creative. It did
Yeah.
the
Oh yeah.
job, But like I said, I just can't wait. I'm gonna hold my reservations off till actually we see a trailer. But you had mentioned how to train your dragon. That's a good segue. What did you think about that one? Because they've already shown a trailer. So I think they showed us a couple of more scenes than what we've seen before. We definitely got to see more good dragon flying scenes with some great scores behind it. So as somebody who, like me, I've never seen How to Train Your Dragon, and I think I'm gonna wait to start watching that franchise till after the movie comes out, because I want to get a different. I want to take the movie in for what it's worth, and then afterwards I'll go ahead and watch the animation and then kind of compare it side by side. So that way I'm kind of going to with just the movie reviewers' eyes and stuff like that. But from what I've seen, I mean, obviously I don't live under a rock. I've seen what Toothless looks like. I think it looks great. I think the CGI looks amazing. I'm all for it. Am I super excited for it? No, but this, like I said, this trailer, as the trailers are coming out, I'm like, okay, it's piquing my interest. You know what I'm saying? And it looked pretty good. What'd you think about it?
I thought it looked great. I thought the trailer looked great. Of course, there's the controversy surrounding How to Train Your Dragon, some race swapping, which right now in this climate is really hurting films. But I've never seen How to Train Your Dragon either. Like my kids
Okay.
are too young to have gotten into that when they first came out, and I've heard just nothing but great things about how great these movies were. So when I found out they were doing live action, I'm like you. I'm waiting for it. I want to see it live action first, and then go. I might go back because I heard the second one is the best one. Everyone
That's what I
who's
hear too.
ever spoke about How to Train Your Dragon said the second one is just this phenomenal movie. So I'll watch part one after part one comes out, and then I'll check out part two, and hopefully, hopefully it lives up to. I mean, to me, kids movies. To me, it's really hard to mess up a kids movie because I go into it expecting a kids movie. I don't go in expecting something that's. I didn't go. I don't go expecting Inside Out for every kids movie. That's what I would
Hmm.
say.
Yeah, that's true. That's a different tier though.
Yeah,
You
yeah,
know, you're kind of going into a kids movie knowing that this is for the kids. Will they have some jokes for us? Sure, but
yeah.
this isn't a movie designed for us. Speaking of a movie not designed for us, now I'm very interested to see your take on this one because you and I were talking a little bit on IG, and you had mentioned to me you're very excited about this next movie. Smurfs dropped the trailer. Um, yeah, it was a trailer.
It
Um,
was a trailer.
it's Rihanna. I'm thinking Rihanna's gonna come out with an album soon. Like that's probably the only reason they're gonna make this movie. Um, you know, when it comes to the Super Bowl, right? These Super Bowl commercials are expensive. These Super Bowl trailers are expensive. So when it comes to the trailers, you kind of want to put your best stuff that you think is going to draw the audience in. And so
Hmm.
when you start off with a joke that says, "I think I smurfed my pants," is that really what you want to start off with? Like that's your opening statement to us to say, "Come see this movie." Like this movie, you can fill in the context. It's probably going to be Smurf. But now I want
Okay,
your thoughts on it.
okay,
The
guys.
floor is yours.
All right, thank you. I need the floor right now. So
And
yesterday,
before you get into it, shout out to Zach Milne. Said that
I'm
Smurf trailer was a giant piece of Smurf. There you go. Yep.
so yesterday in this movie tubers Discord channel, or it might have been day before yesterday, someone mentioned that the Smurfs trailer was trash and that they're going beat for beat from what the Trolls did in the Trolls movie. Now, full disclosure, I love all of the Trolls movies. My kids love the
Same.
Trolls movies. We are really like we are all in on the Trolls. I'm old, as
Up,
you know,
ding,
Ace.
ding. Right
There we
there.
go. One time.
The old
The
counter.
Smurfs is part of my childhood. Like I grew up on the Smurfs. Like I grew up watching the Smurfs. The Trolls took everything from the Smurfs. Like the Smurfs didn't the Smurfs aren't stealing the Trolls swag. The Trolls stole everything that the Smurfs were, and they put it just like the Snorks. Like there were so many
Oh,
ripoffs.
I forgot about the Snorks.
I didn't. I used to love the Snorks too. That was another. That was a good one. That was one of the better ripoffs of the Smurfs, right?
Mm-hmm.
So I'm excited for the Smurfs movie. I'm gonna take my kids. They don't know anything about the Smurfs. I've watched every live action Smurfs movie. I've watched the one that came out was the 2011. It was one that came out, Smurfs: The Lost Village. That was not a good one, but I still watched it because I like that's truly part of my childhood.
Mm-hmm.
Like that is truly so. When people said the trolls ripped off or the Smurfs are ripping off the trolls, it offended me as an older person. Yes, mark that down as two, because like the Smurfs invented the formula for the people who live in their own inhabit their own world and whatever the case may be. So I'm excited. Yeah, does the trailer look good? No, no, it doesn't. But I'm still gonna go take my kids to watch it, and I'm gonna force them to watch the Smurfs because it might have some of the cute charm that the Trolls had. Like it's gonna has musical numbers. My kids love that stuff. Like all the music has Rihanna. Rihanna's probably gonna do a few original songs. So I mean, it's gonna be a vibe. We gonna have a great time.
Yeah. So you got Rihanna as Smurfette, John
Yeah,
Goodman as Papa Smurf,
great casting.
Nick Offerman as Ken and Papa Smurf's brother, and then
Yes,
Sandra Oh as Moxie and Ken's daughter.
love it.
So decent cast. Let me tell you this: I was actually thinking you were gonna go the other way, but
No, no,
I'm
I
actually
can't.
oh, I
Like
can't
we
wait to
gonna have a
see your review
smurfing
on
good
that.
time. Oh yeah, oh
Oh
man,
man,
I'm at the kids. I'm telling you, we gonna have a great time, man. Like that, kids movies. So all right, no time for another rant. And
go
this
ahead.
this I don't want to do this on your channel, but I feel like I have to do this.
Mm-hmm.
Adult reviewers, stop crapping on these kids movies, please. It's unnecessary. coming on your channel and just being super negative about these kids movies, I don't think if it's not for you, it's not for you.
That's where I
Like
stand.
I've heard people go on rants when Transformers 1 was about to come out
That
before
was good, by the way. That was good.
exactly. Like people go on these huge rant, there's all this kid stuff. It's because it's for kids. Moana 2, people were all on the fence about it. They were putting out these huge negative reviews. And it's like if you're doing I get it, everybody's content creators on YouTube, but it's like leave it for the kids, man. Like I want my kids to have a great time watching the Smurfs. And they are because they don't watch people's YouTube, but like I find it weird when adult content creators come on and just start bashing these kids movies. It's clearly not for you. Every movie is not going to be Inside Out 2 or Toy Story 2 or Inside Out. Like they're not all of them are not going to be mature enough. Like they're gonna be potty humor. Like this Smurfs movie. It's the Smurfs jokes are gonna be terrible. I got it. But the kids are gonna have a great time. It's gonna be little blue people running around singing silly songs. Like I'm here for it. Like I find joy in finding joy in other kids watching Paw Patrol. Paw Patrol movies are terrible, but my son loves them to death. And we have a great time watching the Paw Patrol movies. Like, and there's nothing wrong with that. Let them enjoy. Everybody doesn't have to be so cynical. Rant over. I'm done ranting
Yeah.
about kids.
Hey, that was a good one. Nah, but I'm right there with you. You know, people are a little bit too critical when it comes to kids movies. Like there are some kids movies that are made for adults. There are some kids movies that are just kids movies. Like, you know, and as a reviewer, you know what I'm saying? Like even when Trolls Band Together came out, I'm just like, yeah, first of all, I love that movie, and it does hold a special place in my heart because I went to see it with my niece. But you know, I'm not going to be overcritical of this movie. You know, and I'm going to keep it a short review as well because you know, at the end of the day, you do have to realize it's a kids movie. Like I said, I could also, but at the same time, two things can be true. I could say that and then realize that this movie isn't for me. Like I'm going into this movie knowing that it's not for me, knowing that Rihanna's probably coming out with an album soon. That's why she's going to be the main push of this movie. Expect her to sing a lot, expect there to be some dance numbers, that type of stuff, and we'll see what happens.
We will see what it doesn't look great. That's what I would say, but I'm excited. Like I truly am because my kids are gonna see the Smurfs for the first time. We're gonna have a good time.
And that's gonna be a good moment for you guys, for you. You know what I'm saying? Especially on your when you do your ride home reviews. I remember you did one with your son not too long ago. So that's dope. All right, so switching to a little bit of a darker tone, Megan 2.0. This pretty much was just an announcement trailer, which is like what a lot of these were. Like we really didn't see anything, and it's kind of like, okay, we're gonna be coming out with the second version of this movie. The first one I really enjoyed. I actually thought it was kind of underrated. I enjoyed it for what it was worth. I guess you could say I'm kind of into like the killer dolls because I'm a big fan of Chucky. I was really entertained by the first Megan movie. Megan 2.0, you know, didn't show us much. A backdrop of her coming in, dancing, winking at the camera. Don't really know what the plot is. There are rumors out there that this could be like a Terminator 2 type situation, which I've heard from a couple of people, you know what I'm saying, which that'd be a different take on it. But what were your thoughts overall on this? And were you a fan of the first Megan movie?
I enjoyed the Megan movie. I went into the first Megan movie just wanting a female Chucky, something silly, something campy. And that's exactly what it was. It was campy. It got a little dark. It had its moments. It wasn't scary. I didn't expect it to be scary. But the doll had its charm, and that's what it needed. It needed a character that had charm in order to pull you in. I knew at the end of it, I was like, oh, they're definitely making a sequel to this. Like I knew leaving the theater, I was like, oh, this is gonna be a franchise because it just built for a franchise. Now, what they doing? Please don't do it. I did not hear that. Please don't.
I've heard it from a couple of like I've heard it from a couple of content creators that are like, this is gonna be like a Terminator 2. I'm like, so she's gonna be the good guy now? So who's the villain? Like
exactly like Megan 3.0. Like
right.
Oh my god, like I mean, do it. Like if it's gonna be silly, I'm all for it, man. Like, but where can you go from here? I mean, we're seeing a lot of AI, the killer AI. I don't know if you saw Subservience on Netflix with Megan Fox. Terrible movie. but it has the premise is there. Like the premise of AI, of these killer robots, like that's you can milk that into the cows come home, because we're getting into that point in society where companions might be real. Like you never know.
Yeah,
And man, I think I might have just spoiled if anybody's never seen Companion, but you know what I'm talking about.
yeah,
Everybody's seen Companion already.
yeah.
And anyway,
The one thing I say the first movie had was it was trendy. Remember, it was a
yeah,
popular trend. Like, will this one be able to follow suit? Like, because it was very, it didn't, I don't know how much it made. It couldn't have made that much money, especially because it was a January movie. I remember in 2023 when I was doing my movie review, I was like, yo, I forgot Megan even came out. Like, but like I said, I agree with what you were saying. It was campy. It was just a good time. I enjoyed it. You know what I'm saying? I have rewatched it since I went to the theater and seen it. And it's not like a movie that I like, got an itch to watch, but I enjoy it when I do.
mm,
In this one though, can we get some more kills? Can we get a little more like graphic? You know what I'm saying? Like, cause I felt like the first one, it was, they were creative in how they did things, but she didn't really go like ham.
I think like American cinema. And somebody was talking about the movie. What was the movie? Pan's Labyrinth.
Hmm.
American cinema doesn't do kids getting killed that often, or kids in danger. Like there's always peril, but like
Yeah.
they don't, like when a kid's involved, like you very rarely see gore. You very rarely see, like, you had let the right one in. That was like the closest thing to horror with, to me, with kids, like Children of Corn. That stuff is campy.
Hmm.
So I think it's hard to do that. Now, what I did notice in the Megan teaser is Megan looked bigger. I don't know if it was just the
Face looked
camera
different
angle.
too.
Yeah, look, like Megan was a teenager now. Like it's like almost like Megan is growing up. Like it felt like the body type. She just felt like she was longer. Like it wasn't like this small. I'm thinking of, I always equate dolls to Chucky. Like you have this
Hmm.
smaller doll, but she seemed like bigger, older, evolving. Like I think that could be
That
where they're going with this, like where AI's evolving, Megan's evolving. Now she wants to be an adult. Now she wants to be taken seriously. Whatever the case may be. I'm here for it. I don't honestly, I don't care what, like I'm gonna go watch it. I think it's gonna be funny. I think the crew making the movie understand what they made. They understand what they're trying to make. They don't take themselves too seriously, and they're going out there and just having fun.
Yeah, that's a great point you brought up. The evolving aspect, because remember last time we saw her was she was destroyed, but she like assimilated herself
Yep.
into the artificial intelligence of the house. So who's
Hmm.
to say that she doesn't grow up as the little girl is growing, and it's just an everlasting threat, sort of like with Andy in Child's Play. You know what I'm saying?
Hmm.
But in this case, you know what I'm saying, as the little girl is growing up, Megan maybe grows up as well. And, you know what I'm saying? And when the little girl becomes an adult, Megan becomes an adult as well. And then it's a whole different story. But, I'm for it. Like I said, because I was a big fan of the
Yeah.
first one. So
Yeah.
wish they would have shown a little more. But this, like I said, this was just an announcement trailer. It just her dancing, going up to the camera. I like the look of it with the pinkish purple, which is like the background of this, and just the wink
Yeah.
at the camera. And that was it. Sort of like, hey, it's coming. So, we'll see.
I was
Go
gonna
ahead.
say I went and saw Love Hurts on Saturday, and they showed this trailer, and Love Hurts had a lot of people in my theater, you
Hmm.
know. And people, when they saw this, everyone's like, "Oh my gosh, they're making another one." And I could hear the audience like, "Oh, they got excited when they saw
Yeah.
it." Like they got, so I think this has traction, especially with the younger audience too. I think Megan is built equity. I thought it made pretty good money for January. Like it made pretty good money for January. Maybe 100, maybe 200. I don't know. But it made decent money, decent enough for them to make a sequel, and I don't think it cost that much for them to make it. So,
180
um,
million.
which is pretty damn good for a January movie.
Yeah.
like,
They
like,
they hide January movies. Like I
yeah,
can't even tell you.
yeah,
I can't even tell you
that's
the movies that came out last month. Like I'm thinking my first movie I'm gonna watch is Fantastic Four, which is coming up. But
uh,
yeah, I mean I'm right there
yeah,
with you. It's built equity, and I think this has a chance to kind of go down as like one of those underrated horror type movies. You know what I'm saying? That might
yeah,
have like a cult following. People like, oh, it's good, but they're not going to be upper echelon. Like you're not going to put it up there with the Chucky's,
no,
the Michael Myers stuff like that. But it just might be a good time every time you watch it. So yeah,
for
I'm with it.
sure.
Mission Impossible: Final Reckoning. Full disclosure too, I've never seen a Mission Impossible movie in its entirety.
Wow.
I
Like
know about it. Tom
that.
Cruise
Oh,
does his own stunts. You know what it comes down to? I don't think I'm that huge of a Tom Cruise fan. Now there are some movies that he's there, and I'm like, okay, you know, that's great. Night and Day is probably one of my favorite Tom Cruise movies with Cameron Diaz. He was great in Tropic Thunder. You know, I didn't know that was him
yes.
until like towards the
Yes.
end of the movie. But I'm just not a huge Tom Cruise fan. You know, maybe if he would have been Iron Man, maybe I would have been more of a Cruise fan. But no, but obviously I know what the Mission Impossible movies are. Going into this one, I might just binge them all. But from what I've seen, you know what I'm saying, and from this Super Bowl trailer, from the previous trailers, pretty much the same footage that they pretty much use. A little bit, you know, maybe a little couple of different things here and there. But this to
Yeah.
me is going to paint me as a typical Tom Cruise summer blockbuster.
So what I this trailer got me. Like
Hmm.
the first trailer, it's just the way they cut it, the music, it just has this aura. And I've watched every single Mission Impossible. I'm a huge fan of the Mission Impossible series. The
Which one's the
first
best one?
one, three, to me. Now
Hmm.
there are a lot of people who hate three. Three has Philip Seymour Hoffman, who plays this deranged villain. Uh, Ethan had gone off. He quit the IMF and he went and got married. And the whole thing is like him trying to save his wife. I love that movie. That's my favorite one. Like a
Hmm.
lot of people say Rogue Nation, the one with Henry Cavill. They really love that one. The last one was not as great as the rest of them, but it still was entertaining. Like Tom Cruise makes great action adventure movies. Whether you know, a lot of people don't like him. My wife hates Tom Cruise. She refuses to watch Tom Cruise movies. Like she is not a fan. She just like she truly refuses. She thinks she watched Jerry Maguire once,
Hmm.
and that was it. But other than that, she doesn't enjoy Tom Cruise. But I do. I think the trailer just let me know he's just in his bag now. I think he should stop. Like
He's getting up there.
I think it's time to stop. Like I watched him at the beginning of the Super Bowl, and I was like, man, this guy looks like AI. Like he doesn't look human. He doesn't look real. But I think it's time. Tom, you've had a great run. Like you are the last action adventure big box office star who still puts out good movies. Because The Rock is a big box office star, but he doesn't put out good
Will
movies.
Smith, yeah, so Will Smith.
Mhm.
I
Well,
lumped them into like the action hero blockbuster because like they put butts in seats.
that's true. That's true. I don't know if Will Smith puts those same butts in seats without Martin next to him.
Hmm.
Like at this point, we'll see. We'll see. Um, but yeah, like I really dug this trailer. I really thought it was cut well. It hit every beat that you wanted it to hit, and it didn't have anything to do with the overall plot of the movie. It was just a bunch of action set pieces letting you know that Ethan is about to do some crazy stuff again. And that's what we're here for. We're here for the plane stunts. Like I don't know why every movie he has to have some crazy plane stunt where he's hanging off the side of a
Then
plane,
his
but
contract.
yeah, I guess. But that one looked crazy. That's like that prop plane. Man, it looked dangerous. And we all know Tom Cruise does his own stunts at the age of 75 or however old he is.
He's gonna have to call it quits soon though, because you can't be doing your own stunts like that. So I don't
Yeah.
know. I still need to see Tom Cruise in at least one MCU movie as a Tony Stark variant before he calls it quits or something like that.
Secret Wars, it's gonna cost $800 million to make, and I'm pretty sure 100 of those is like a good 3-minute cameo of Tom Cruise
As
fighting
Tony Stark.
Henry Cavill's the Calverine versus the Tony Stark variant. That'll be great.
Yeah, the just go crazy. I thought we were gonna get that in Multiverse of Madness, but yeah. All right, so moving on to a film I think is very interesting, Novocaine. Did you get a chance to check that trailer out?
I did. I did.
Okay. I actually think this is interesting. Um, a mild-mannered introvert with a rare disorder that he can't feel pain is interesting. Jack Quaid, I also think I like I like the movies where it's the unlikely action star. Jack Quaid to me does not look like your typical action hero like we were just talking about. The Tom Cruise is
Yeah.
the Will Smith stuff like that. he was great as Huey in The Boys. You know, a lot of action in those. You know what I'm saying? But he's not the action that's doing all the action type stuff. Um, but yeah, it's your typical, you know, not your typical hero. Doesn't really like he belongs. But I like the concept. I also think Amber Mid Thunder is very nice on the eyes as well. So she'll be a good reason to check that out.
for sure.
Jacob Batalon, Ned, is also in this as well. I'll be interested to see. I haven't seen him a lot outside of Ned, but I'm definitely interested in checking it out. But it looks like an interesting concept. Showed us quite enough. So I'm like, okay, it seems interesting. You have my attention. What do you think about it?
So I've seen this trailer in every single movie that I've gone to see for the last month or so. So I'm like, I'm almost over it, but it seems like my type of movie. I love mindless action movies. I think they're gonna go too gross with the like, because if you've seen the trailer, if you've watched the Red Band trailer,
Oh yeah, I was about to say the one that they showed at Super Bowl was the
yeah,
PG
yeah,
one,
the
but it
regular
was
trailer.
yeah.
That Red Band trailer, it shows a lot of just bad things happening to this guy. And I don't know what's too much, right? Like John Wick took a lot of damage, right? And this seems like that type of action style where it's real frenetic, everything's happening really quickly. And I mean, he's not a badass like John Wick, but a lot of things are happening and he's going, it feels like a more Monkey Man-ish. Like if you've seen Monkey Man, like
Mhm.
that action was real. Like Dev Patel got his ass whooped in Monkey Man. Like every fight, he was just taking. He gave a good ass whooping, but he took one really bad in that movie, and it gave me that feel. Um, I'm probably going to enjoy it because I just like action movies like that, and I like romantic comedies. So I feel like it has that it has that whole romance vibe to it where he's trying to save the girl he loves. Um, so I'm probably gonna dig it, but I'm so over this trailer. I think I've seen, like I said, I've seen this trailer in every movie I wanted to go that I've watched over the last 2 months, and man, they're really trying to get butts in the seats. I'm gonna be there anyway, but I don't think this movie's gonna do that well. Like I don't think so.
Yeah, it doesn't seem like it's something that's going to blow away the box office. But, you
Yeah,
know, I'll check it out. And here's one of the reasons I might check it out. You know, like I said, she's very, very nice on the eyes. So she was great in Prey. You know what I'm saying? That
for
was a great
sure.
movie. She was also in that Avatar Last Airbender movie, which a lot of us don't speak about. But
Full
yeah.
disclosure, I've never seen anything Avatar related. I've never watched a
Ooh.
cartoon. That was like past my that was like I was probably like 10 years past my anime, like my coming home from school, watching animation,
A little bit too old for
thing.
that.
Yeah, a little too old for that one.
Great. Well, I'd recommend checking it out. That animation is definitely top tier. Um, the show I'll be doing extensive coverage on that when season 2 drops because that's one of my most viewed videos as well. Love Atla. But yeah, like I said, I'll check it out. This movie seems interesting. Another one that you said you were very interested in, The Amateur. What'd you think about that?
Yes. Yes. Remy Malik, Lawrence
Love
Fishburne.
him, by the way.
This premise has been done before. The underdog,
Yeah.
like there was a what was it called? American Assassin with Styles from Teen Wolf. I can't think of his name right now. I mean, the premise has been done before, but Remy Malik is special. Like Remy Malik, when he talks, he always sounds the exact same. Like he doesn't do much.
It
Like
feels like
when you
he's
play
not
Freddie,
acting. It feels like he's just
no,
being himself. Like
he's just being
every
himself.
movie.
He's playing Freddie Mercury, and he's just being Remy Malik playing Freddie Mercury. Like he doesn't feel any different. He won an Oscar for that, by the way. But it was like he felt like Mr. Robot. I don't know if you watch Mr. Robot. I love that show. He's phenomenal on that show, and I feel like he's playing Elliot in everything he does. Like he plays that type,
Hmm.
but he the trailer got me so I'm really excited. Like it just seems like it's going to be a really intense action thriller, psychological thriller, and I feel like you're going to get some really good kills in that. I think the action is going to be solid, but they're leaning more on his mind doing all of the killing, other than him, beating people up, and he plays into the fact that he doesn't know how to do this. He doesn't. He's not a
Oh
shoot
yeah.
'em up guy. Like the trailer really shows that. Like there's a scene where there's an explosion and he's like flinching, and that
That's
doesn't
yeah.
usually happen. Like that's real. Like I love that because they're not just within 90 minutes he becomes the world's greatest badass. No, he beats you with what he was given. He was given a mind, and he had a specific set of skills that he used in the CIA, and it wasn't shooting you. It was, counter espionage, whatever, cyber intel, whatever it was. It was had a lot to do with computers. I love movie hacking. Like
Hmm.
anytime people hack in a movie, it's always something ridiculous. Like they always do some just ridiculous, typing in 2 seconds, and next thing you know, they've taken over the NSA's like database or whatever. So I'm very interested. That always humors me. I don't know why. But I'm just excited about this movie. Anything he's in, I'm gonna watch it, and I think this one is gonna be really good. I think this is gonna be like this year's underrated action flick that nobody saw coming, and it's just gonna take people by storm.
Yeah, same. I mean, I think it's gonna be good. I like him as well. Um, I don't think he's been bad in anything I've seen him in. First time seeing him was in Night at the Museum. Remember seeing him; he fit in
Hmm.
perfectly in that one. He was in the Twilight movies as well. Need for Speed. I mean, that movie was just bad in general. Um,
Yeah,
but yeah, I think he's a good actor. I definitely think he's a good actor, and obviously in Bohemian Rhapsody as well. Um, there was a shot in this trailer that looked dope, where it was like the guy was swimming in his pool, and it
yeah.
looked like the pool was going from one hotel or
Rooftop,
one
yeah, one
one
rooftop to
rooftop
another.
to another. And I was like,
Hmm.
first of all, that motherfucker's rich as hell. I was like, can you
Yes,
imagine having that?
correct.
And then he's basically like, there's two things that in the trailer that kind of sold me. That scene where he was like, he set it off and he had to swim, and the other
Yeah,
one where there was an explosion. He was like, maybe if you jump, you'll outrun the explosion. I was like,
yeah,
okay. So like I
exactly.
said, that's the type of stuff that sells me in a Super Bowl trailer. Not
Yeah,
I just smurf my pants. You know what I'm saying? Like that's the type of stuff that you can easily sell on. So I'm with it.
yeah.
So I'm excited to see that. Another one that I'm excited to see, F1. I'm excited to see that. I feel like we're in this age, like with Gran Turismo. I thought Gran Turismo was very underrated. Not a lot of people talked about it. I enjoyed the racing scene movies. I feel like for cinema, you can do a lot with racing movies. An F1 successful teaser, in my opinion. Same director as Top Gun. It showed us what it's going to look like from the driver's perspective. It gives you an opportunity to, from the trailers, this movie gives you an opportunity to get a lot of great angle shots. Cinematically, it might be really good, the stuff they're able to capture in this movie. I'm excited for that. And like I said, I think Hollywood's going through this, like I said, with Gran Turismo and now this, the racing scene movies might be, getting up there. What'd you think about the F1 trailer?
I've never seen a bad racing movie. Like F1, Days of Thunder. So that's an older Tom Cruise movie.
There's some bad Fast and
Talladega
Furious
Nights.
movies. There's some bad
So-
Fast and Furious movies.
No, no, those are not racing movies.
Those are
We're not,
superhero movies.
yeah, exactly. Those are Marvel movies. We're not doing, we're not lumping them. Gran Turismo was in my top five. What was that? 2022 that came out.
23.
Was it 23? We're in 25. Yes, it was. It was 2 years ago. That was in
Mhm.
my top five the year it came out because that movie came out of nowhere. Um, and it just let me like I didn't watch Ford and Ferrari, but I heard that was really good as well. But I've never watched a bad racing movie. Usually it's a character study. And then you have really cool racing scenes. And that's like I'm here for the driving and the scenes that they've shown, like it just seems like it's gonna be beautiful. Gran Turismo was beautiful. What they did in Gran Turismo, that was so well shot. That was, I mean, they never give awards to like, action movies or movies like that. I'll say those blockbusterish type movies, but that movie was beautiful, and this one looks even better. Like
Yeah.
this looks even better than Gran Turismo, which I thought was gorgeous. So I'm looking forward to this. Brad Pitt never does wrong. Like I don't Brad Pitt. I can't think of any Brad Pitt misses. I can't say that I've seen all of his movies, but like he's had very few misses. So I think this is, and it's Apple Plus. Apple Plus usually
Yeah.
or yeah, Apple TV, whatever it's called. They usually put out solid movies, even though if a lot of people don't see it. I enjoy Wolves. I thought that was pretty good. So I'm definitely gonna go see this in the theater. This is an
So
IMAX worthy movie.
yeah, and this feels like in the theater, like
Yeah.
that's a
Oh,
chance to get immersed. Like, could you imagine if they did a point of view shot, like while you're sitting there in
sitting in the
IMAX?
D box sheet, the
Yeah.
D box seats. I don't know if they. Oh man, I don't. I might throw up sitting in those D
Oh
box
yeah,
seats.
nah. When it's IMAX, I gotta sit all the way
Yeah.
back. I gotta sit at the H row because the thing with IMAX that gets me is, and it's one of my pet peeves because it's shot in widescreen format. So if you have
Yeah.
two people on screen talking to each other, I'm moving my head like, and I'm just like, this sucks. Like,
I
but
got clown because I'm up closer. Like other than IMAX, I'm usually in like row B or C. Like I like to get immersed. In IMAX, I'm in like H, maybe G. I
mhm.
sit a little bit ways back, but you're right. It's a huge screen. And yeah, having two people talk, especially if you have some space in between them, it's true.
Yeah,
Yeah,
it's just like you
not
just
good.
yeah, you're moving your head the whole time. So we got a couple more to talk about. Before we get into it, guys, make sure you guys hit that like and subscribe if you're watching a rewatch. Appreciate you guys. Um, this wasn't a trailer in here, but are you surprised that we didn't get a Brave New World trailer? Because I didn't see anything.
I'm not surprised. Like, man, I don't want to go on my Brave New World rant here, but the Super Bowl
This week.
is it was that would have been a
It was
perfect that would have been a perfect place to uh hey guys,
well, Super Bowl is
this
political enough.
Friday.
Yeah, there was enough
Yeah, like
politics in the Super Bowl as it
yeah,
was. Yeah.
exactly. Like but I mean, hey guys, this Friday we are bringing out a new Marvel movie. This like you probably should go see this if you haven't already because I booked my Brave New World ticket. I want to say maybe 3 weeks ago. Whenever it first hit, nobody pre-booked, right?
I
So I
still.
had to cancel that.
Mm-hmm.
I had to cancel that because of I have a new previous. I have engagement I have to go to that early on Thursday. So I was like, man, I'm probably not gonna get a good seat because I'm gonna have to go later in the day. Because I get off work around 3-ish. So I'm Thursdays by 4, I'm usually at the theater, like for movies that I want to see. So I had to book at 7:30, and there are two people who have tickets to that 7:30 prime time box. And I mean, then again, it's Thursday. It's not Friday. It's not Saturday. But generally, for the big
Or a
movies,
Marvel
Thursday
movie.
nights, yeah, like it,
Yeah.
yeah, any big movie Thursday nights, at least at my theater, usually you get a nice crowd. You get to hear some chatter, and that's where I get my gauge from. Hey, is this movie going to do well? How people react to the trailer and stuff like that. And people, of course, everybody's talking, so they're telling you what's going to be next, right? What's going to be the next big thing? There's nobody going to see this Captain America movie, which is sad. Um,
You basically got a private theater. So
yeah, it's gonna be about three of us.
yeah, yeah.
we got,
I haven't got my ticket yet. This is what my theater looks like. That's a lot of empty seats. Like
I mean,
I usually sit like right there and my seat is still open. So I'm gonna get
mm,
it. I'm gonna get it. But
I mean
yeah,
that actually looks that's packed for my theater. Like my
yeah.
theater doesn't like the front rows are usually empty, and then those back rows. I'm a front row guy, so I always end up getting my seat. Or the second row, I
Hmm.
always end up getting my seat. Other than Love Hurts, somebody got my seat, and I was like sitting on the side. I was a little upset, man. I didn't think that many people wanted to see it, but
Yeah.
they did.
I'm gonna be going. Yeah, I'm definitely gonna be going. So speaking of Marvel movies, Thunderbolts dropped another trailer. And for this one, I'm gonna tell you this: the trailers are getting better and better. Like you can't sell me on this because I'm already sold on it, but I
Mhm.
feel like they're doing a good job at showing us a lot, but not showing us anything. Like focusing on the team dynamic and the team chemistry, and we still don't know what's going on with the villain. We still don't know who that's gonna be. Um, it this trailer right here, they cut down on a lot of the quippy stuff to kind of be more serious tone. I guess obviously because the Super Bowl, you have a limited time, but you were able to cut down on a lot of the extra stuff, the excess stuff. So I mean, yeah, it was really good. Actually, I read that note wrong. Yeah, this one actually, this trailer was actually very quippy. Which is what Marvel does. Marvel does that. You know what I'm saying? That's what Marvel's supposed to do. But yeah,
Mm.
I'm excited for this movie. Like I said, you can't sell me any more on it. I am curious with the Thunderbolts asterisk though, because there's this theory floating around that are they going to change the title right after Brave New World comes out? Like it's this theory that's floating around on like IG because like maybe that will tie into some things from Falcon. I'm not from Brave New World will tie into this, and I'm like, I don't know. General Ross was tied into it. We'll see what happens. But the Thunderbolts trailer I thought was solid. I'm excited to see it. What'd you think about it?
Um, I watched this trailer and Suicide Squad kept playing in my head and it
Marvel,
made me
yeah,
nervous. Like it was the color scheme, the villain who is this super pot. You have these fighters these heroes who punch and shoot, like Helena said. Yelena said, um, they punch and shoot, and you have this ultimate superpower. Like I know who the villain is. The world knows who the villain is, and they ain't supposed to beat this this villain. Like for this villain, you better call in the Blue Marvel. You better call in Captain Marvel. You
well
better
you got
call in
Sentry,
Thanos.
so you got Sentry, so Marvel
Well,
Superman is in this. Yeah,
you don't know who the villain is.
no, that's what I said. I don't know. So
I know who the villain is.
oh, okay.
The villain is a bigger bad than the Sentry.
Mm-hmm.
The villain is a bigger bad than the Sentry. That's all I will say. I won't spoil it. But the villain is a bigger bad than the Sentry. And you're not gonna have the Sentry to fight the villain because the villain is a bigger bad than the Sentry.
Mm-hmm.
The punch and shoot guys, at least unless I'm completely wrong. I could be completely wrong, but I don't think I am. I'm interested to see. I'm definitely gonna see it. There's nothing that's gonna
Of
stop me
course.
from seeing this movie, but I'm a little nervous. It felt
Same.
too Suicide Squad-ish. Like in that made me nervous. Um Marvel does Suicide Squad better than DC could. So I don't think they're gonna mess this up too much. It's gonna be a bunch of quirky heroes doing quips, and I'm here for that. Like I love that. Like I'm not one of those people. I enjoy the humor in Marvel movies.
Same.
I'm one of the 5 people who enjoyed Thor: Love and Thunder because it was
Yeah,
funny.
I didn't.
Like there are a lot of people who didn't. I just thought it was funny. It was funny to me. Um, and this is going to be funny. I Florence Pugh is one of the greatest actresses of this generation. I don't care what anybody says. Yeah, she's not gonna do that in this movie, but anything she's in, I'm gonna go check it out. I really love her as an actress. Um,
I just watched her
and
in that movie with Andrew Garfield this weekend.
I
Um,
haven't seen that yet. The
it's
something about time.
no.
What a time we live.
The movie was called The Way We Live. Wait, it's called We Live in Time. Yeah,
Yeah, we live in
all
time.
these time type like there's a
Yeah.
love movie called About Time, so I had to look it up. We Live in Time. Great performance,
Mhm.
her and Andrew Garfield. Definitely recommend it. But I agree with you. Florence Pugh is great. The only thing that I'm really nervous about with this movie
Mhm.
is same thing with Brave New World. You don't have any main heroes in it. Like you have you're gonna have side heroes in this movie coming together, and it's a lot of homework that a lot of casual Marvel fans are gonna have to look into because you gotta think about it. You're gonna have to watch Falcon and Winter Soldier. You're gonna have to watch Black Widow. You're gonna have to watch Ant-Man and the Wasp. You're gonna have to watch well, even before that, Winter Soldier for Bucky. So you're
Mhm.
gonna have to watch all this stuff. It's a lot of homework to do, but I think a collective, me personally, I'm excited for it. Collectively, you bringing in a bunch of established characters and having them come as a team, I think it's great. Marvel Suicide Squad, I'm with it. I definitely think Taskmaster, from what their show, is probably gonna be one of the first out.
Yeah,
Um,
yes.
yeah,
I noticed
especially for
that
what we
too.
just saw. So
I noticed that too. I was like, she's in like one clip and never in another one again. It's like,
and
okay.
yeah, it's kind of hard to get a grasp on it. You know what I'm saying? Because you can kind of piece together certain things, and you're kind of like, okay, that's gonna be the first
Yeah.
out.
Yeah.
But yeah, I'm very excited for it. Do I think it's gonna do well in the box office? Possibly, because like I said, it's just a bunch of side heroes coming together, and will people flock to it like other movies? We'll see. But I'm excited for it.
I think word of mouth could put this over the edge. I
Hmm.
really do. Um, man, I think Florence Pugh deserves more than this, man. Like, cause I think she's the lead. Like, I feel like she
Yes.
is the star. And I don't think, unfortunately, in the climate we're living in right now, I don't think a female lead is going to in Marvel and unfortunately, I don't think that that's gonna put butts in seats the way Marvel thinks it will.
Hmm.
Um, they haven't played her up enough. I think if she would have showed up, if she would show up in Brave New World, I think that would help. Like I think she should be like prominently featured, like Scarlett Johansson was in the Iron Man 2 and all of these other movies where she was in Winter Soldier. She was prominent in a lot of these movies, not just Avenger movies. Like her and Clint would just show up, like they
Yeah.
would just be there. And they haven't done that with any of these other characters. I mean, Bucky, but
Buck. Yeah.
I mean, I
Bucky's
don't know.
borderline like he's been in soap. He's a fan favorite. So
Yeah,
Bucky's gonna be one. Bucky and Yelena are gonna be some of the driving forces of this movie because they're the fan
yeah,
favorites. Those two are the fan favorites.
correct.
The reason why I think that this movie might tie in heavily with Brave New World, not just because the asterisks, dude, Thunderbolt Ross is in Brave New World. He's gonna have to pop in. There's gonna have to be some sort of connection to the Thunderbolts.
Depending on how Brave New World ends, man. Like I'm so intrigued. I'm intrigued on how these three movies are going to play out because these three movies are three distinctly different movies and how they have to tie into each other. That's the only way we buy into Doomsday. That's
Yeah,
the only way you get buy into Doomsday as if because that's Marvel's canon. You know how I love canon, right? You know
yeah,
I
I know.
love the word.
Hmm.
So if they don't tie in, people gonna be like, why the hell did I just go see this movie? Like if Thunderbolts don't tie into Fantastic Four somehow, if Brave New World don't tie into Thunderbolts, everybody's gonna be asking, why did I go see these movies? That was a waste. Like a lot of people felt like some of the Marvel Phase 4 movies were waste because you never got a follow-up. The Eternals, Shang-Chi. Even though
Yeah,
we probably will get follow-ups to them down the line in Doomsday, in Secret Wars, but we haven't got a proper follow up to them. So people like it's not even about doing homework. It's like why am I investing in these characters when I may never see them again? You know,
yeah.
and if it doesn't tie into Fantastic Four, I may never see the Thunderbolts again. That asterisk might be because they die at the end of it. Like who knows? Like who knows? Man,
Yeah.
I
That
don't I don't know.
yeah, that's a good segue. I was gonna save this for last, but let's go ahead and go Fantastic Four first steps. This trailer was weird because they dropped it. They originally said, like I said, when we were talking on Zach's channel, I had originally heard they were gonna do Super Bowl. Cool. Then they
Yeah.
dropped it on the 4th, which is understandable. Fantastic Four, the 4th. It all makes sense.
Mhm.
But the way they did it, and of course, I did a trailer reaction, so you guys make sure. Well, I can't even say it's a trailer reaction. I just kind of rewatched it again because of how they did it. It was just so weird that they were like, okay, 7 o'clock in the morning, you know,
Yes.
Fantastic Four, first steps. You don't want to miss it. I get up at 6:55. That's early for me. I usually start going to sleep around that time. All of a sudden, an hour countdown comes out. I'm like, what the hell is this? And I'll set
I
my alarm for an hour later. Then they put another hour on. I'm like, what is going on? Then the
oh, I'd have been
cast
so
comes out.
mad.
Yeah, then the cast comes out. And I think because the host was so terrible that they were like, okay, let's just show the trailer. Because the host was like, she was, as somebody that's hosted live events, stuff like that, she was terrible. But okay, so
Mm.
the Fantastic Four trailer dropped, first steps. Pretty much we saw what we saw a couple of days ago. I did my reaction. So make sure you guys go check that out. It's the last video on the page. I want to know what your thoughts on the Fantastic Four trailer is, because we didn't get a chance to talk about it this past weekend on Zach's channel. So I want to hear your thoughts.
So I'm not sold on Pedro Pascal. Like I like hearing him talk, I was like, man, who is this human being talking? Like he sounds funny. I think I definitely know that that's purposely done. because of the time. Like it's supposed to be like this capture of time where it's the 60s, but it's technology. That's how they spoke in the
Like the
60s, right? At
Jetsons.
least in the movies, yeah. At least in the movies, like they all had that same sound. I'm truly sold on Sue Storm. Like
Vanessa Kirby.
Vanessa Kirby is about to enter a different stratosphere when she knocks this movie out of the park. I think that she is going to be the glue that keeps the family together, like Sue Storm does in the comics. But just her in the trailers, Johnny Storm, perfect casting. There's a lot of people complaining about the Thing's voice. I think he sounds great. I think he doesn't have to sound like McGruff the crime dog, for him to be the Thing. He doesn't have to have that, guys. Like he doesn't need to sound like that. I really hate that. That's I'm so glad that's over because I just think that's unnecessary. Um, but I'm Galactus. That's got me like that shot, the shadow shot of Central Park. Oh man, I'm here for that. Like
Which we saw a little bit more of the scaling of Galactus, which I'm all for it. To the people that were like, they're okay, Marvel fans are becoming toxic. They
yes,
just can't. You can't. They just can't be happy with shit. When it
no,
came out, they were complaining about Thing. Do you want him to look like Michael Chiklis's character from the old ones? Like, is that what you're complaining about? Then they're like, Galactus is too small. He has the ability to change his shape, his
yes,
size.
yes.
Like, come on, female Silver Surfer. It's been done in the comics. Like, come on. What I am like, I'm ecstatic over this. I talked to you after I dropped that trailer reaction. I was like, "What are you doing?" I was like, "Because we can go live right now and talk about Fantastic Four." Because
Yes.
and you were busy with your homework and stuff like that. I was like, "Bro," because I thought about it all day. I was like, "I can't wait for this." Like, I'm a huge Fantastic Four fan. The first family of Marvel. I'm all for it. How you think Vanessa Kirby is going to go into a whole different stratosphere? I'm like that with Joseph Quinn, and it's kind of already
Mhm.
started. You
Yeah.
kind of know how
Mhm.
Hollywood works. You know what I'm saying? Because
Mhm.
you're plugged in as like I am, right? It kind of seems like there's an actor that comes out of nowhere and kind of has his moment for about a season and a half. Um, who was the last one I really felt like that with? Um, his name is eluding me. Dude, Kang, Jonathan Majors.
Oh
I
yeah.
felt like that.
Yes,
Yeah,
man.
he a light from
He
all the
had
stuff he went through when he was because he was in
yes.
the scene. Like, you were Kang, you were in Creed. I kind of feel like Joseph Quinn's star is starting to burn like that because we just saw him in A Quiet Place day one. He's kind of
Mhm.
no pun
He was
intended.
in
He's on
Gladiator
fire right now.
2.
Yeah,
Yeah, he
Gladiator
was
two.
he was in Gladiator 2. Like he has a lot of projects coming out. And this is going to put him in. Johnny Storm's a very likable character. I
Yep,
mean, after he became Chris Evans. Say what you want about those Fox movies. Chris Evans was fun in those movies. I enjoyed the
and that
Fantastic
put him
Four
on the map
movies.
too. That put
It
him on
did.
the
It
map.
did. It did. It did. He wouldn't have gotten that Captain America role if he hadn't been in those Fantastic Four. That's my personal opinion because I've seen him in other stuff and he's not that great in other stuff. Like
You didn't like him
he
in Not Nut Teen movie where he came out with
no,
the
no.
Sunday.
But I mean he's I don't think he's Captain America if he's not the Human Torch first.
Mm-hmm.
So I mean I think Joseph Quinn is going to. I think I don't know. I don't know this guy's name. The guy from the Bear. I think he is probably going to be the heart and soul of the movie. I think his the take on the Thing is going to be what a lot of people gravitate to, even though everybody's acting like they hate him now. I
Oh,
think he's going to be
Ebon Moss Baccarat.
fantastic.
Oh
Yeah,
yeah,
I
yeah,
think
yeah.
he's going to be fantastic. I believe Marvel's going to get this one right.
They have to,
Um,
dude.
it's not going to be for everybody. Like you said, Marvel fans have become toxic. If they don't see exactly what they want to see on the screen, it's not great. It's not, it's not peak. It's not like whatever the young kids say these days. Like if it's not what they wrote in their head, if it's not what's in the Ultimate Marvels, like I watched a few videos of what people think this movie is going to be about. If it's not that, they rebel, they revolt. They say, "Oh, well, Marvel's falling off." Oh, well, we got it's a bad time for. I think it's a bad time for cinema, personally. But I think it's a bad time for Marvel for any misstep. So they're playing it so safe instead of going out there and just making a great movie. We wouldn't have got Winter Soldier if they played it safe.
Hmm.
Like if they play it, like Winter Soldier couldn't get made today because people would go crazy because it would become truly political. Winter Soldier was a political thriller, but we didn't think of it truly
Yeah.
politically. Like we didn't think of Hydra being whoever you want to call Hydra to be
Hmm.
in the government. Like, but it was a great movie. I don't think that happens today. I think people miss the point and they make it into something that's not. It's a comic book movie. This looks like a very fun comic book movie.
Yep.
I think that the character, the Fantastic Four, is right for the taking. They made Guardians of the Galaxy a thing. You can make Fantastic Four a greater thing. Like Guardians of the Galaxy, not for nothing. I didn't care about them before.
They
I
were
care about
D-listers.
Peter. Yeah,
Yeah.
exactly. The F listers. like I would have never. I don't know. I didn't know who Drax the Destroyer was, but I know who Sue Storm is. I know who
Yep.
Johnny Storm is. I know who the Thing is. I know those characters. Mister Fantastic. Um, I I I think it's going to be great. I just hope the fans don't turn on it when they don't see what they want to see.
Yeah. I am the most nervous for this. I think that this is probably going to be the superhero movie of the year. Superman's going to be up there. And then the next topic we'll talk about with Jurassic Park. They got some competition. The Jurassic, I think I said that to you, didn't I? Send it to you. The Jurassic is what they're calling it. How they're trying to call it Barbenheimer.
Oh
Because you
God,
got
no.
Jurassic Park, Fantastic Four, and Superman. The
And
Super
Superman,
Jurassic is what
yeah.
they're calling it. Super Jurassic. Um, but this movie's gonna have a lot of pressure on it, and I really feel like we were talking about the political stuff. Brave New World's gonna go through that,
Oh
and
yeah, for sure.
we kind of saw it even before then with Black Widow, because Black Widow was very political as well. It was kind of like the female version of Winter Soldier, but like you said, no one gives Winter Soldier shit because it was done so well, and the Russos
Hmm.
knocked it out of the park. But
Yeah.
that movie, especially in the phase it came out in, I think the times would be different as well. Obviously, if it wasn't coming out with all the shit we got going on now, it'd be different.
Mhm.
But Fantastic Four is where I feel like it's Marvel's going to get back on track. I feel like the Thunderbolts is going to gain some traction, and then this one's going to take off because let's face it, we've had three okay Fantastic Four movies. I mean, well, four,
Two.
one, yeah, two. Well, I was thinking about the one from the '90s too, like the
Okay.
one that where they kind of just had to make it because they were
Yeah.
going to lose the rights, so they had no choice but to
Yeah.
do it. The
Which is
two,
better than the one that they made
yeah,
with the
well,
last Fox one.
yeah,
Fan
and
Force
then we
thing.
had two campy ones with with the best part about that movie was Jessica Alba, and then we had Fan Fortas shit is what I call it because that movie was just so terrible. Um,
Terrible.
but let's put it like this: I don't want to say this, but it can't be any worse. We
No,
can't
no,
get any worse. It
it,
can't.
it, it,
And if it does, oh my
it can,
gosh,
it cannot get worse than Fan Force Stick. It
no,
can't. Like, there's nothing that I know it's not going to be that bad. Like, there's no way. There is absolutely no way. Marvel's too smart for that
yep,
to make anything that bad. They're gonna make it very feel goodish. It's gonna have a little camp to it. It felt a little campy. Like it
hmm,
didn't lean heavy into it. But the thing with the robot, like the robot and the thing,
Herbie,
like that
hmm,
interaction, it felt a little campy. It's going for that 60s aesthetic. WandaVision did it perfectly. I
yep,
think that they've taken what they did for WandaVision and they're gonna put that in this movie to kind of give it that leave it the beaver feel to it, the 60s feel, 50s and 60s feel with that technology and infused in there. And then we get to see Galactus, man. And the chef's kiss is going to be Robert Downey Jr. showing up in this movie. It's gonna
that's
happen.
okay. We see that.
The-
All right, we're
I
gonna
do,
have okay. When are you seeing the movie?
the whatever day it comes out. What I don't know.
We're gonna
I
have a
don't
group.
even know.
We're gonna have a group review. So if you can clear your schedule for that Saturday, right? What scares me about this movie, and we're gonna do some stuff leading up to it too, because I
Mhm.
gotta finish. I gotta finish my Fox watches, and I told myself I'm gonna drop the Fantastic Four reviews to the Fan Fantastic and the other two ones right before this
Mhm.
movie comes out.
Mhm.
I'm nervous that because Robert Downey Jr. is going to loom so hard over this movie that we're not gonna get Galactus isn't gonna get his due with the fans because like both of them are two major, not light, they're major Fantastic Four villains. So for you to put them both in this movie, even if Robert Downey Jr. is at the end, people are gonna be like, okay. And also, Galactus can't be a one-off. I'll be so pissed off if Galactus is a one-off.
No, he won't.
He can't be. Like if you're gonna go the notion of this movie takes place in a futuristic past of the 60s, you know what I'm saying, like the Jetsons, cool. If Galactus is in a little bit of every time that they're trying to go to, great. He can't be a one-off. And I just feel like if Doctor Doom's at the end of it, which I know he's going to be, people are going to be like, oh yeah, that's what they're going to be talking about instead of how great Galactus is. But I do trust MCU, and the Fantastic Four is a hot property right now. I don't know if you play it, but I know you see it on the Discord. We play Marvel Rivals.
Yeah.
The Fantastic Four just got added to that. They're a hot property right now. So Disney's cashing in. The comics on the Fantastic Four are going through the roof right now as well. So it's just like, this is the time, man. Marvel cannot mess this up, bro. They can't mess it up, bro. Yeah, they need to get it right.
I have theories on what's going to happen in this. I don't think Galactus is going to be a one-off. I don't think that.
He can't be.
That would make me so mad if they fight him like they did Doom like on some street at the end of the movie, and it's like they all put their powers together. And that would make me so mad. That would make let's all, because we're a family, we're just gonna team up. No, I don't want to see that. Our powers
combined.
Yes, I don't want to see that on the
planet looking at itself. Yeah, right.
Yeah. Oh my god, I don't want to see that. I have theories on how the movie's gonna end. I feel like Galactus. I don't see Galactus being. I see Galactus being more of a one-note villain. Honestly, I don't think that they're writing him with depth. They're not making another Thanos. I think they're making him with Doctor Doom in mind. Like, not saying that he's. I know.
It really is.
But this video I watched earlier, really, Marvel does things simple, right? They give you a simple line to flow to until it gets to the point they want you to be at. They don't want you to love Galactus because they don't have plans for, like, Galactus is not the big bad.
I know.
Like that's the problem. They don't want you to fall in love with Galactus. They're not. I don't think they're gonna just kill him off because he has to show up in Secret Wars like that. I feel like Secret Wars is just gonna be one. It's gonna be like John Wick 4, where it's just gonna be battles. It's gonna be a lot of battles, battle world, whatever the case may be. I feel like Secret Wars is just gonna be a hero orgasm of fighting. Like I'm just.
Everybody has a moment going against some person.
Yes.
Yeah, you just see it all.
Yes. Just like Endgame.
Yes.
Yeah. So Galactus will show up in Secret Wars. But at the same time, I don't think Robert Downey Jr. is just going to show up as the businessman, Victor Von Doom or Tony Stark variant. I've heard they backtracked on him not being Tony Stark variant to he might be a Tony Stark variant. So I don't think he's going to do that. But I don't think they're going to show his face either. I think it's just going to be the mask. It's going to be like some Inspector Gadget thing where you just see the hand or something, or you see the mask, which would be cool. But that has to happen. That can't not happen. Yes, it will loom over it, but it has to happen.
I know.
That's how you sell me on Doomsday.
That's how they're going to do it. Because, I mean, you're right. I mean, at the end of the day, what made the Infinity Saga so good was Thanos was the big bad looming over everything. So Doctor Doom is the big bad looming over everything. Now, then Galactus better not be a pawn. I'm telling you.
No. Oh God, no.
Like, if he that will piss me off. If Doctor Doom, he's just all part of the plan. Like, Like I could see what you were saying. Dr. Doom sitting in his chair, like doing a little finger thing like this with the metal glove, and that's all we see. And then and he's like watching like them defeat Galactus. He's like all part of the plan type shit. I'll be like, oh man, this sucks.
So you're probably gonna hate this movie then, because I feel like
I'm still gonna love it. But see, this is the thing that I need Galactus to pop up most, because the one thing with the MCU, we could always have. This is a wholly different tangent. The MCU outside of Loki doesn't have recurring villains like that. They don't have people that Hydra. You can say Hydra is the biggest recurring villain. But in the comic books, we see these characters all the time pop back up. You know what I'm saying? How many times has Spider-Man fought Venom? How many times is Captain America fought the same person over and over again? It happens. I feel like that's the one thing that I will give kudos to the Fantastic Four movies in 2005. They brought back Doctor Doom.
You can't. Yeah, you can't.
Yeah.
Like if you kill him, I mean, granted, they had Galactus in part 2, but like, did they have Galactus in part 2?
No,
like
in cloud form. In form
yeah. I mean, so you have to like he's a Fantastic Four villain. That's like having Daredevil Born Again without the Kingpin. Like it simply it could work, but I don't think it would work as well as it's going to work.
Well, it's because Kingpin's also one of those villains that transcend just one character as well. He's also a Spider-Man villain. You know what I'm saying? Doctor Doom is one of those too. But I'm saying like he has to. Doctor Doom is a big looming threat. He needs to. Like I get, he's going to take over the movie. I'm telling you, it's if people are going to want to see, especially Robert Downey Jr. If he's not in this movie, people are going to be pissed off. And I know what's going to happen. I know he's going to be in it. I just don't want it to overshadow Galactus because I love Galactus and I know how much of a threat he is. We need to see how menacing he is. And then, like, it can't be a one-off. If you're going to make Fantastic Four 2, if Galactus is another threat, I'm cool with that. Because in the comic books, these villains are still threats, just at different ways. You still have to stop them
different points.
Shit. Yeah. So it's like, they're just doing something different. You have to stop them from doing this. Like, so yeah.
I mean, they might just put them in a time loop. I don't know, like Doctor Strange did Dormammu. just put them in a time loop, and then somehow say what?
Become the bargain. That's what he said.
Yes, exactly. Like I don't know how they're gonna defeat him. I don't think they're actually gonna defeat him in the movie though. I have theories, and I don't even want to say them out loud. Because I don't want you to be watching the movie like, oh snap, he was right.
Or I'm like,
this guy's an idiot. For me exactly.
He said this, now I want that.
Yeah,
that's what Star Wars fans do.
Yes. No. I think it's gonna be a good time. It'll take me a little getting used to Pedro Pascal talking like this. Hey guys, hey everyone. I'm Reed Richards.
Is it the fact that because first of all, Pedro Pascal was good in Wild Robot.
Great in Wild Robot. He was great.
It the fact that you're seeing him and the voice doesn't match the face?
Yes. When I see Pedro Pascal, I don't hear that voice coming from him. So he has that Zorro mustache too. Like, come on, come on. I love Pedro Pascal. Like, I know he's sitting there, like he probably had a blast making this movie. Like, I know he did. No knock on him. He's a great actor. When I think of Mr. Fantastic, I just don't see Pedro Pascal.
Okay, see, there are different things with Pedro Pascal. Like in Game of Thrones, that felt like, I don't know. Have you ever seen Game of Thrones?
Yes.
Okay, that felt like a Pedro Pascal. Like the accent looked like his face. You know what I'm saying? Stuff like that.
Yes.
He's fine in Mandalorian. Like it's fine. It's not like, it's not like overly noticeable. You get used to it real quick. I'm trying to think of what else he was in. Equalizer 2, he had an American accent ish. He wasn't bad in that, like.
Loved Equalizer 2, by the way.
I love the Equalizer movies in general. I think they're very underrated. Denzel kicks ass in those movies. He was bad in Wonder Woman 84 though.
I thought he was good. I thought he was the only good thing about that movie. Like Pedro, I enjoyed the Maxwell Lord character. I just thought the villain arc at the end was just ridiculous. Like in everything else about the movie, I thought he was the only good thing about. Oh, then of course Gal Gadot. Like just watching Gal Gadot,
of course,
or Gal Gadot, whatever her name is. But I thought Maxwell Lord really, like, he was campy. He was like he was unhinged. Like he was a crazy ass character. And I thought Pedro did really well. And that's what really sold me on him as an actor, was because that character should not have worked. That movie was terrible, but he, at least for me, he was the only good thing in that movie. And I thought Kristen Wiig was going to steal the movie, but
she was bad in that.
Oh God, that was terrible.
She was good in Despicable Me too, but she was bad in that one though.
Yeah,
That was the
Cheeto.
whole movie was just bad. Like you can
Yeah,
blame the pandemic what you want, but that movie was terrible. Like,
yeah.
and
No,
it,
it
it
was
was
it was a bad movie.
it was going to be hard to live off the hype of the first one too, because the first Wonder Woman was really good. So,
Mhm.
all right, well that was a really lengthy one. All right, so that brings us to our final trailer from the Super Bowl, Jurassic Park Rebirth. All right, it can't get any worse than Dominion. I didn't do a trailer reaction. I am actually excited for this because this is the note I was talking about earlier because I actually took notes for this one.
Mhm.
In this Super Bowl trailer specifically, they cut down a lot from what we saw on the YouTube on the when they dropped it
Yeah, the
online
full
this
trailer.
week.
Yeah.
Yeah. So therefore they were able to cut out all the quippy jokey stuff, and this one was more serious. This was a more serious cut to kind of buy into the audience. The premise of it, I'm excited for it. You like we talked about a couple months ago on Zach's channel. We know Jurassic Park is gonna sell. Jurassic Park is
Mhm.
gonna make money. That's the one thing
Yes.
that we know. Dinosaurs are cool. I'm just like, once again, can we just see dinosaurs instead of like this mutated hybrid rancor / xenomorph thing that they're trying to do? But I like that it seems like a new fresh take and new direction on the franchise where they're going, you know what I'm saying? And you got, Black Widow and Blade in this,
Wesley Snipes is in it? Wait a
Yeah,
second.
yeah.
Wesley Snipes in this one? Oh,
Yeah,
come
right.
on.
Yeah, so but I'm excited for this. I really do. I really am. I think this could it's gonna make money. It's gonna put
Yeah,
butts
for
in
sure.
seats. It's gonna make
For
for a
sure.
busy dude. July is gonna be like crazy with these three movies. You got Jurassic World, Fantastic Four, and Superman. Like I said, the Super Jurassic is what they're calling it. So Scarlett Johansson to me kind of puts she could sell. She could sell. You don't think so? Lucy was decent.
So that didn't make that much money.
Well, I'm just talking about as
Lucy,
far as she draws, is what I'm saying. Like, she's a popular
yeah.
name.
So two of those movies in July are gonna do really well.
Mhm.
One of those movies can't. Which one of those movies is not gonna do well?
Are you
I
saying
don't
that
know.
from a financial standpoint? Like, people
Yes,
can't go to the
from a
movies
f-
that much?
no, I'm not saying that people can't go to that movies that much. I don't think people will go to the movies that much. Like
Yeah.
like it's not about can't. It's not about not being. I think that people are gonna make a choice. All right. So which one comes out first? Is it
Jurassic Park.
Superman? So
Jurassic Park.
All right. So if Jurassic Park is not good, that's gonna hurt the other, like the third movie out of them. Like if
All right.
Jurassic, if
Jurassic
Ju-
Park, Superman, Fantastic Four.
okay, so if Jurassic Park is really good, people come off that movie high, then they go see Superman. If Superman is really good, then fantastic. Like I think all three movies have to be great in order for all three movies to make money. If
Mhm.
Jurassic World, which I really don't think it's going to be that good, like I think what drew people into Jurassic Park and what drew people into Jurassic World was like this sense of adventure. This movie feels more like a military movie. Like it feels more like Prey than it does Jurassic Park. Jurassic Park was this sense of, oh my gosh, we're in the, oh my god, look at all these dinosaurs. This movie feels like this adventure romp that Lost World tried to be,
Oh, that was
that
terrible.
that Dominion tried to be. What was the one before Dominion? Was that Lost World? The
No,
Lost
that was
Kingdom?
the
Well,
Fallen Kingdom.
Fallen Kingdom? Those last two were terrible. And they
Mhm.
tried to be something that like Jurassic World brought us back to the park, right? There was a
Yep.
sense of this aura, and Chris Pratt
And
had
Chris
that
Pratt, yeah,
Chris
star
Pratt
power.
charm, right? Yeah, like he had that Chris Pratt charm. And that's what brought like people back to the Jurassic World. And they were chasing that Jurassic World high for the next two. And of course they all made $1 billion. But this one just has this different feel. And why the hell is there always a kid there? How does a kid get like you got a paramilitary team and there's
Bad
gonna be a
parenting.
kid. One of the guy's sons are gonna stow away on a plane and somehow get on. Let's stop this.
Jurassic Park
Like
2.
that. Yes. How do these kids always end up there? Nobody
Well,
like
like you alluded to earlier, they'll put them in peril, but they're not gonna,
yeah,
put them
yeah.
in. We know that.
Yes, we know.
But
Yeah, well, they're gonna survive. The kids are gonna survive. So there's no real stakes there when it comes to the kid. We're gonna find out this kid's a clone too. Like, I don't know. I'm
oh,
just
that was
making stuff
terrible.
up.
That was a terrible
I'm
direction.
just making,
But no, but the premise of it is decent though. Like, okay,
yeah,
you're going to a park that already
the
exists, that was the most
dangerous.
dangerous of the animals, of the dinosaurs, are have their own ecosystem. And you're going there for a purpose to kind of get the DNA, which is cool. I understand that. Pretty easy plot.
Yeah,
Are they milking it? Yeah, this is Fast and Furious with dinosaurs, absolutely.
yeah,
But
correct.
because I was going around, I was watching what a lot of people were saying about this during the trailer reactions. Everybody loves the fact that Spinosauruses are back, so you're bringing back something that we haven't seen in 3 movies.
Mhm.
Um, are they going to do the same shit? Yeah. At some point in time, a T-Rex is going to show up and save the day because
Yes,
it always happens.
yes.
Name me a movie that the T-Rex wasn't the protagonist. Every
They
time,
always they always build the apex predator, and
and then
then
the
that
T-Rex just
T-Rex
comes
come out
in.
of nowhere with the little arms and just
I
like,
got you. Yeah,
yeah.
yeah, dude. Every
I was
every
I've been
movie.
witnessing every single time. It's like that one, the Rancor looking thing,
Yep.
that T-Rex, the mama T-Rex, the mama who has the protective instincts to. Oh my god,
Yep.
hilarious! Like
There
that is.
there's not a Jurassic Park movie that doesn't have the T-Rex come in and save the day, save the main characters
Yeah,
at some point. It always happens. They do the same shit.
every single time. Uh, I was thinking, I was like, man, they got this badass looking thing, and it's gonna be this T-Rex that come out of nowhere, and it's gonna scream, and they're gonna have this big kaiju fight, and the T-Rex is gonna kill it and probably die killing it. Like, and then the people gonna be saying, like,
Yep.
and it's always the apex predator. We built the ultimate dinosaur, and the T-Rex is just showing y'all there's nobody more ultimate than me. I'm gonna
Yep.
come, and it's always smaller than the thing too. Like
Mhm.
everything just dwarfs it. Just
The same formula. If
every
it
time.
works, that's prime example of if it works. People, and they're probably like, these movies are making millions of dollars. People love T-Rexes. They got to save the
Man.
day. They've
Oh,
done it in every single movie. Like, it may not have been like the grand finale, but it's always something. Like, you see our characters backing up, and
oh
all of a sudden
man.
T-Rex out of nowhere saves the day. So,
Yes.
but yeah, I'm clipping this.
Hilarious.
This is hilarious.
Hilarious.
But nah, this movie does, like I said, does it have the feel of I keep saying Fantastic Four. I'm stuck on that shit. Does it have the feel of Jurassic Park 2 and 3? Sure. There are some aspects of it, like the Lost
Yeah.
World, you know what I'm saying?
Mhm.
3, you going back. I mean, but there's only so much that you can do. We have to understand, like, we have to turn our brains off at the same time too. They
Mhm.
want to make money. There's only so much that they can do. But I do feel like this next trilogy, you bringing in some new actors that are established. I think, obviously Scarlett Johansson is established. Mahershala Ali, love him. You know what I'm saying? Wish we got to see him as Blade. But yeah, I mean, I'm excited for this. This is gonna be another summer blockbuster. So what you were saying, to your point of which one of the 3 would probably flop, I would probably say the first one. I'd probably say Jurassic World, because actually either that or Superman. I could see Superman flopping just because of Snyder stands. They're gonna,
Yeah.
like, yeah, they're gonna try to kill this movie.
I
But
don't understand it. Like y'all
July,
didn't even support. Y'all didn't even support. Like you can't be a Snyder stan and you didn't support the like we wouldn't even have this if you supported Justice League and Batman versus Superman. Like they made
well,
okay.
or if they were good movies, like, they
Yeah,
still have to be good movies. They were bad. Yeah.
yeah. I mean, whatever. I'm gonna go see it. Like I'm past the stands of the world. Like all of these fan bases that are just super toxic and negative. I'm just past it. Like
Yeah.
I'm all about enjoying movies. I'll go to the movie theater to enjoy movies. I don't go to the movie theater to bash movies. I'm positive T this year. Like I'm
Oh
gonna try
man.
my hardest, man. Toxic T. Ugh,
I'm trying to
I'm a
figure out what
very
what movie that's going to drop this year is going to bring out toxic tea.
probably the Smurfs. I'm gonna leave them just be angry.
Probably. He's gonna be like, that was
Uh,
terrible.
Man, my kids are gonna love it, but I'm gonna leave there just like, oh no. I mean, I don't I simply don't go see the movies, right?
Hmm.
I could go on a rant about the people angry at Amelia Perez. I'll never watch that movie. Like I don't enjoy watching, I don't enjoy hate watching movies unless it's
Same.
like a
Hmm.
bad B action movie. I love those. Like I watch. Give me a good Aaron Eckhart movie. Give me a good Jason Statham having a job, working man. He's a construction guy this year. Last year he was a beekeeper. This year he's a construction worker. Like give me a good Jason Statham. I don't care that I don't care that he's one note. I don't care. He's gonna break some bones. There's gonna be some blood.
Yeah.
I don't care. Like give me B movies all day. And I don't go there to hate watch it. I go there to just enjoy silliness. Like
Well, unless it's a Sony movie, go in there to hate watch
oh,
that shit.
okay,
Yeah.
okay. You're
You,
right. I did watch every single Sony movie with the intent of bashing it. Yes,
yeah.
yes. But they're done. Those are done. See, we're in
Yeah.
a new day. Thank
And,
goodness.
and ultimately, that's what it comes down to with movies too. A lot of times we're invested. Like, dude, I've seen every Jurassic Park movie. I'm invested. You know what I'm saying? Like,
For sure.
um, I know we're a year away, but I saw a clip from producer sharing that the second Mario movie's in the works. Yeah, I saw that as well.
I did not
Great.
see that, but I'm here for it. Yeah, for sure.
Give me Wario and Waluigi.
For
People
sure.
want people want Luigi's haunted mansion, but they kind of alluded to that in the first movie. During that brief scene of him in the
Yeah.
beginning. So I don't think we'll and then like because I was just rewatching Super Mario Bros. 2. Like there's and they paid more attention to the mansion more than I would I remember in the movie because then all of a sudden
Mhm.
Luigi's flying away after he got captured and he's looking down and it's like they're like zooming in on the mansion. I was like, wow, they actually paid more attention to that than what I thought, what
Yeah.
I previously remember. But give me Wario, give me Waluigi, set up the Super Nintendo verse. Give me a Star Fox movie, dude. This is the time, man. Like, give me a animated Star Fox movie. Like, I don't want to see, and this makes me think of this. We didn't even talk about this with the Smurfs. I don't
Mhm.
want to. The thing with the Smurfs is, I don't want to see animated people in the real world, like animated characters in the real world. Just my brain doesn't tell me like that works. Like,
It doesn't work that well. Uh, uh, but funny movies like that make Alvin and the Chipmunks made a lot of money. Like the first two made some good money. Like kids enjoy stuff like that. I
mhm.
took my
Like
kids to
Tom
go
and
see
Jerry. Hmm.
Lao Lao Crocodile. My kids loved that movie. That movie was terrible.
Hmm.
But like that whole just live because they feel like, oh, I could walk outside and I could see a Smurf tomorrow. Like that's the way kids' brains are wired. Like, so I think it's more for them. I feel like it's a Who Framed Roger Rabbit type thing where that
That's
was
different. That's a classic, though.
uh,
Yeah,
but it was in the real world, Space Jam, stuff like that. Like you can
that's
do
true.
it, you just can't overdo it. Like
Yeah.
and we've gotten some overdone, some overcooked live action and animation where it's just not really good. Like Alvin and Chipmunks were terrible movies, but a lot of kids went to go see them. You know,
Garfield too. Throw that in there. So,
Chip and Dale. I don't know. Did you watch the Chip and Dale movie on
mm-mm.
that came out like 2 years? That came out during the pandemic, and it had Ugly Sonic in it. Which Ugly Sonic ended up being like either like he ended up being a hero or he became the main villain. I can't remember which one it was, but that was a live action animated movie, which I thought you should check that out. I would
Yeah.
love to hear your thoughts on it because
Yeah, I'm gonna check it out.
it's more adult.
Hmm.
Had Darkwing Duck in it. Like
That's my favorite. He's my favorite.
yes, yes, that he
Darkwing Duck.
deserves it. He
Let's
deserves it.
get
Like if anybody
pictures.
deserves a movie, it'd be
Mm.
Darkwing Duck. It'd be so silly, but I'll
Dude,
watch it.
I want the Super Smash Bros. Universe. Like, dude, give it, dude. Bring him, do it like the Avengers, dude. Look, I said this in my Super Mario review. Give me the NCU, the Nintendo Cinematic Universe. I am all for it. Like everything.
Metroid, like
Yup.
who
Star Fox is in there. Um,
Mega Man.
Yo,
Mega Man. He will be in there.
Yeah, I would be all. I do it, dude. I'd be Donkey Kong, Link, Kirby,
Hmm.
like
Yeah, yeah. I mean, they got some good ones.
Star Fox. As stupid as it would be, I'd be all for it, dude. I really would. Parker, what's up, man? Thanks for popping in. Parker said Space Jam 2 felt
I'm
pointless to make. I understand LeBron wanted his own movie, but it was terrible. Yeah, that was yeah. I
I'm
try
I'm
to
a
defend
respect.
LeBron.
I'm gonna respectfully. I enjoy Space Jam too. My kids enjoy Space Jam too.
I'm one of those people. Okay, I was just having this debate with my, and this is we're going a little bit off topic. It is running a little
Uh-huh.
long, but
Okay.
I was just having this debate with my sister with the
Hmm.
other like 2 days ago with the Aladdin movie, the live action versus the animation, and
Hmm.
I kind of in the same boat with the Space Jam movies. Space Jam 2 emotionally I thought was better, like it because the father son
Yeah.
dynamic and
Yeah.
him trying to
Yeah.
save his son, so emotion
Hmm.
it hit different.
Yes.
Like
Yes.
is it,
Hmm.
see, this is the thing, nostalgia is a hell of a drug. I'm gonna tell you
It
this,
is.
like nostalgia is a hell of a drug. People really think like, and T's usually the one that be like, yo, I'm old, y'all don't know, but people
Yeah.
really think what we had back then was way better and it's untouchable compared to what we have now, which I'm gonna tell you this, it's not true.
It's not
especially
true at all.
especially with things, especially with technology nowadays. There are
Yeah.
so many
No.
movies that you can do now, and it would kick the hell out of the movies back
It
in the
would.
old days.
No, you're right.
So,
You're right.
but people don't
I,
want
I'm
them.
one
People
of
don't want them.
I'm one of those people who like if you go back and look that's why I don't knock too many movies because there were terrible movies in the 80s. Commando. Commando was so dumb, but I love it. I inject Arnold Schwarzenegger movies in my veins because I'm all there for, but they're so stupid. Other than T2, T2 is a classic, but like
That was a good
all of those, like all of his other movies, like he's made like Cobra, all these Sylvester Stallone movies. These are
Predator was good
regarded
too,
as
though.
like
Predator was good too.
okay.
Yeah.
We go rewatch Predator right now. Prey is like probably 50 times better than Predator. Like
I will agree. You know what? Was Prey better? Yeah, on it. But see, here's the thing: if you had the big movie budget, Prey could imagine what Prey could have been with a huge movie budget too.
this is true because if you go back and watch Predator, I feel like Predator just, and maybe because I watched it so many times, there's no real substance to it. The team just shows up, they shoot a bunch of Uzis, and then they just get killed off. Like, and it happens so quickly. The movie is just like you snap your finger, and I feel like they're at the end. Like it just there's like Prey. There was so much depth. Like I felt like there was a lot more depth. They granted it was in a
Better
totally different
storytelling, too.
language. Yeah, it was a great story, and it just so happened to have a predator in there, right? It was really a coming of age story. The original Predator was just like an excuse for dudes to have on cut off shirts and show muscles and,
Like
for
the
Arnold
you
call
son of a
yeah,
bitch. See?
yes, exactly. Like it was a reason for Arnold Schwarzenegger to take his shirt off. Like
And Carl
that's
wants
what
to just snap up. Yep.
yes.
That's what
Like,
sold back then, man.
that's exactly what sold. So
Was-
going back to some of those movies, like they were just not good movies. Like so I look at movies now, people are like, oh, this is not like there are yes, there are better movies. And I've watched so many bad movies that people consider classics. It's like, man, how do you consider like why is this bad when 20 years ago this would have been the greatest thing we've ever watched? Like this would have been peak cinema, as they say. Like so I give movies grace. I try not to overthink. There are some movies that are just terrible. But I just try not to just bash them all just because I've seen I watched Howard the Duck. Like that movie was
yeah.
like
He was good in Guardians Galaxy.
yeah.
Probably better in that than he was in his whole movie. But
Yes.
I mean, but then that's what's good. That's what's frustrating about movies too, because then there are some movies like the Terminator movies that get worse and worse. Like me personally, I actually like Terminator Salvation. That's actually one of my favorite Terminators.
That was
Christian
good.
Bale was great in that. It was a different take. It was a fresh take on that. We finally got to see the future and the war and stuff like that. Then you had Genesis that was shit and Dark Fate that was
terrible.
bad. Like
I thought Dark Fate
interesting concept.
It's terrible. Yes.
It wasn't
yes.
executed well. And that's the thing, like with movies nowadays, you can with the special effects, you can make things way better if you execute.
Mm.
Me, as somebody that goes to movies and stuff like that too, I don't care if things are predictable as long as you stick the landing and you execute it. Which, speaking of sticking the landing, Cobra Kai drops in 2 days. You know what I'm saying? I'm super nervous that they're not going to stick the landing on that. You know what I'm saying? This is why this is going to be a very busy week and stuff like that. But you got to stick the landing, man, in some of these movies. Like, you don't have to blow me out of the water. Just execute.
I have not watched Cobra Kai in the last probably 2 seasons. They jumped the shark with me. Like once they like it, I'm gonna catch them all. Like once it's all done, before Legends comes out, I'll definitely watch the rest of Cobra Kai. I still need to catch up on Stranger. There's a lot of shows that
I
need to catch
haven't
up on.
started Stranger Things. I watched the first episode and that was it. You know what I'm thinking about doing? I'm thinking about doing, because soon I'm gonna upgrade computer. You know what I'm saying? Like, I want to upgrade PCs before the Yankee baseball season starts, which, by the way, I will be live tomorrow as well with my guy Hector from Uptown Sports discussing Yankees first day of pitching and catchers tomorrow.
Oh, word. That's what's up.
I know, I'm excited about that. I wanna upgrade computer. I'm gonna upgrade computers this year and then take the channel to a whole new level. One of the things I want to do for series is live watches. Obviously not like watch parties, but like what Zach did with the with his Daredevil type stuff. I'm thinking about doing that for Stranger Things, because it would be my first watch. I've, outside of the first like 10-15 minutes of the first episode, which I don't even remember, I never watched Stranger Things.
Yeah, they lost that one. Lost me after like season 3, I think it was. I didn't watch the season. I didn't watch the last season, which my wife said is the best season. Like, so I've heard it's really good.
I hear good things.
And Joseph Quinn. That's honestly where he made his name. Like Joseph Quinn, they said he killed it in the last season of Stranger Things, and that's when people started taking notice. And Running for the Hills became like the biggest pop song of the year, like when that came out. So at some point I'm gonna watch it, but the funny memes about the Stranger Thing cast being like grandparents when it comes out, like they're old, like they just finished shooting, so it's definitely coming. But Cobra Kai, Legends, I'm honestly not sold on that either.
I don't have high stock in that.
Yeah, no.
I mean, Jackie Chan is great. You know what I'm saying? It's great to see him again, but you know, I'm already invested in this universe. Like, I can't, you know.
Yeah. You got to finish it.
Yeah, exactly. But yeah. But look, man, before we get out of here, though, we talked about a lot of trailers today. Which is the one that you are most excited about?
Honestly, the Mission Impossible. Like, I think that Ethan is gonna go out on a fantastic note. Not saying it's gonna be the best movie.
So you think he's gonna die?
No. I think he's gonna go out on the best note.
Oh, okay.
And I think he's gonna have a Batman. What was it? Dark Knight Rises. I think he's gonna have that moment. Yeah, like I think he's gonna have the tipping of the champagne glass to somebody like moment at the end of it. But I think they're gonna nail this. I think that's gonna be my personal favorite. Is it gonna make the most money? No. I do think I honestly think Fantastic Four is gonna make a boatload of money.
Same.
I think Fantastic Four, out of the 3 movies that have potential to make money, I think Fantastic Four is gonna make the most. Yep. Like that's just my. Will it be better than Superman? I don't know, but I think it's gonna make more money than Superman.
I think it will. But that's not saying that I think Superman's gonna be shit. Because I'm on record that I think this Superman is going to be the best Superman. I put that out there because I'm just getting a gut vibe feeling that I had with Ben Affleck as Batman. I was like, no way, he's gonna be terrible. He was great. He was good in it. I'm just getting that feeling like this is gonna go, and James Gunn's got equity with me, like, so you know what I'm saying, like, you don't have to show me more. I feel like, since we are talking about the trailers and stuff like that, I feel like maybe this is why they didn't show a lot on the Super Bowl trailer with the pup, whatever they were doing, the Puppy Bowl, whatever, is because this movie's so scrutinized right now. So maybe they're gonna go to less is more route, because, dude, we saw people criticizing Superman doing a loop. People were like, that was terrible. Like, Henry Cavill would never be on the ground beat up. I'm like, oh my gosh, like, get over it. Like, get over it. Like, so you're telling me you're not gonna go see a movie because it's like just go out and enjoy it. You're not gonna go see a movie because the other universe stunk and is dead. Like, Superman has
Yeah,
never been. He's always been the big blue Boy Scout. He's never been somebody that's been. He has dark moments. Every superhero does, but he's not a dark, gritty hero. That's Batman. That's the Punisher. That's other people. That's
yeah.
Wolverine. That's not Superman.
I we live in a time like, and this is one. I'll be totally honest. It's one of the reasons why I don't really even do too many movie reviews, because it can't all be negative, right? We
Mm-hmm.
can't all be negative. We like I get it. Some people do it for the views. I've unsubscribed to a lot of content creators over the last year. Actually, not over the last year, probably the last 4 or 5 months, because they're just constantly negative, and it's like, come on, man. Like, and not saying all these movies are great. I'm not saying that they're calling out bad movies, but it's like everything. If you're doing everything to and negativity sells, and I get it. That's how you're getting these views. Just not mine. Like I can't like the world's already negative enough. That's the reason I go to the movies, is to escape,
Yep.
like to
Escape
sit in
reality.
darkness and watch Love Hurts. Ki Han Kwai, where I can't, oh man,
Yeah, I know you're talking about. Mm-hmm.
I just
Ki
messed
Hu
up his
Kwan.
name. Ki Hu Kwan.
Mm-hmm.
To go see him obliterate beast mode in this movie. The movie was, I enjoyed it. Is it for everybody? No. Are people probably gonna rag on it? Yes. But I don't need, like, I just want to go see a movie, escape reality for 2 hours, 3 hours, not more than 3 hours. You already,
Oh
I
yeah.
don't
No,
do
you
like,
nope. If
let's
it
keep
if it's not 2:59:59,
yeah,
T got that alarm going off
yeah.
on his clock on his phone. As I did it, I gotta get out of here.
Yeah,
Guess I'm not
I
gonna see the
gotta go,
conclusion.
man. Yeah, like, oh man, post credit scenes. No, I gotta go, man. But I mean, just it
Speaking
can't
of
all be
post
negative, man.
speaking of
Yeah,
post credit scenes, we've gotten so used to
accustomed to
Marvel
the
has forever, bro. I was
yes,
watching that movie with Florence Pugh and Andrew Garfield the other day, and I fast forwarded through the credits, thinking it was gonna be something else. Like, we have gotten so traumatized by Marvel that I
so
literally a what is the movie? A Life in Time, whatever, the Florence Pugh
yeah,
movie.
yeah. We live in time.
I literally fast forwarded to the end just to make sure. And it's a love story. It has nothing. There's nothing. Spoiler. I mean, there's no sequel to this movie, pretty
Yeah,
much.
no.
But yeah, I'm just like, yeah.
So so I every time I go to the movies, I always look before, like, it doesn't matter, like you said, it doesn't matter what the movie is. I went and saw The Covenant, like
Mm-hmm.
Guy Ritchie's The Covenant, and it's
Mm-hmm.
like I'm sitting there expecting a post credit scene. There's no post, like, it concluded its story. But I look online to make sure, hey,
Same.
does this movie have a post credit scene? Because I can't remember what movie it was. I went and watched a few months. I think it was in December, and I left. I was like, this movie was terrible. But then I found out I had a post credit scene. I was so pissed that I didn't stay and watch it. And it wasn't a superhero. It was like, I can't remember what it was.
Mm-hmm.
Man, I wish but it was like, I came home, and then of course, hey, did you see the post credit scene? This movie had a post credit scene? Are you kidding me?
Could
I
you
was
imagine?
so
Could you imagine the first post credit scene? Iron Man, right? Because that was around the time that I was, I was just graduated high school. Movies didn't do that. You know what I'm saying? You didn't. It was unheard of. Some of them did. They were some.
somewhat,
It
yeah,
wasn't.
somewhat.
It wasn't the
Most of it was
first.
comedies. It was
Yeah.
actually usually comedies, because they would have a little joke at the end. Like
Yep.
they would tie back, like, some
To
callback joke
or bloopers,
sometime in the movie. Yeah,
or you
or
get
bloopers.
bloopers.
Yeah.
So like with what Rush Hour did. But I
Mm.
just remember going to see Iron Man, and then somebody was like, "Did you catch the post credit scene?" No. So now I got to go see it again. That's what they probably did. Like, you
So
know,
Iron Man wasn't the first movie with a post credit scene.
mm-hmm. No, out of the
Incredible
superheroes,
Hulk. Yeah, the Incredible Hulk,
the
which
Incredible
is
Hulk
in
was.
the sequel. The
You talk about
Incredible Hulk.
that was after Iron Man 1,
Was it?
because Tony
No.
Stark was in that post credit scene. If you're
Was
talking the
it?
first, yeah, it was. It goes
No, I
Iron
thought it
Man,
was.
Incredible Hulk. No, that was after because Tony Stark showed up. Remember, he showed up talking to Ross and was like, "We're forming a team." Ross was at the bar.
I thought that was before Iron Man.
No. Let's
Eh,
see.
no,
Incredible
because
Hulk
this
was
is before.
2000. Incredible Hulk was 2008. Iron Man was also in 2008. Let's see which one came out first, though. I'm almost positive. There's no way they would have. I could be
Okay.
wrong, but there's no way that they would have put Tony Stark in there before introducing Iron Man as Tony Stark.
You might be right. I don't. I could have swore Incredible Hulk was the first one because
Well,
everybody keeps
also
saying that.
June 13th, 2008. Let's see. I could have. Iron Man's always dropped in May.
Man, I know. I know. I was in a totally different country when this happened.
Yeah,
God.
Iron Man dropped in May. Yeah, May 2nd,
Okay. Okay. So then,
2008, and then
and then
June
Incredible.
13th.
Okay.
Yeah,
Okay.
so, yeah, because
Okay.
they tied in. Yeah, because like I said, Iron Man
I could
came
dig
out,
it.
and remember, at the time, we didn't
Yeah.
know
Yeah.
Hulk because Hulk was Universal.
Yes.
So actually, they didn't
Correct.
have the rights to do that. And then all of a sudden, I guess Paramount was one of the first at the time
Mhm.
with Iron Man. So I guess they pulled some strings. It's like, yo, let's tie this shit together. So
Let's make money. Okay, I could
exactly.
dig it. So
But
I was wrong.
yeah, first end credit scene though. Like I said, could you imagine you left and somebody's like, yo, you got to go see this again? I actually got lucky though because like when I first saw Iron Man, somebody was like, one of the people that was cleaning up, don't
Mhm.
go nowhere. Why? Why are we sitting here past the credits? I think this guy is trolling us. Like, do you not want to clean? But and then all of a sudden you're like, Avengers. Like, oh shit. So
See, I didn't see Iron Man in the theater because in May of 2008, I was in Iraq. So
uh
I was out of the country, as they say. So I watched all that stuff on DVD for the first time. Cause
yeah.
yeah, we didn't have a theater over there. So I watched Incredible. I remember watching both of them. And I watched those bootleg. Those are like those were my the LimeWire and BearShare days where I was like in Pirate Bay and all in those torrent site days
Yeah.
where that's how I watch it, and then the lowest quality like video handheld camera that you can see, like a terrible way to watch MCU
Bootlegs.
movies, by the
People
way.
walking up and
Yeah,
that's how I saw
walking in the middle of the movie.
that's how I saw what was it? First Avenger I saw on bootleg. That was probably the only Marvel movie I didn't see in the theaters. And then what was it? Wolverine Origins I saw bootleg.
Yes, yeah.
Like,
I think everybody watched that on
everybody
bootleg instead of
every
going to see that
at
in
least I
theater.
thought it was bootleg with how shitty their quality was. I was like, this gotta be bootleg. Like
And I
terrible.
went and saw it in the theater because I watched the bootleg like months before it was supposed to come out. With you saw the wires, you saw every bad thing that was, and then I went and saw it in the theater. It was like, oh, this wasn't that different. This was
Yeah,
this is awesome.
terrible. But yeah, man. But like I said, the movie I'm most excited for, Fantastic Four. Marvel's got to nail it. They
For
can't mess
sure.
around. This could be the movie that turns around the MCU, builds up all the hype, gets people excited again. I want nothing more than Brave New World, which drops on Friday. I will be seeing it Thursday and doing my review as well. I
Yeah.
want nothing more than Brave New World to succeed and start building momentum. Build that momentum into Thunderbolts, and the Thunderbolts build that momentum into Fantastic Four, and then Marvel will be right back at it. But yeah, man, that's what I want. But look, see, I appreciate you for popping on, man. We are almost at 2 hours, an hour and
Man,
48 minutes. Time be flying. We be going in on these conversations, man.
it do great conversations. By the way, great conversations as always.
Definitely. I appreciate everybody that popped in. Zach, Jacob, Parker, Brandon. You guys are amazing. Make sure if you guys are watching on the rewatch, if you stuck around with us this long, appreciate it. Subscribe to my guy. Have You Seen That with T? His link is pinned in the description below. My guy does great movie reviews, has a lot of great insight. Like Zach says, he's critically acclaimed. So make sure you guys go check him out. You know what I'm saying? He does a lot of great work. So make sure you subscribe to his channel. And of course, subscribe to yours truly, the Ace, for your sports, movies, and more. A little bit of something here for everybody on the Ace Avenue as we are approaching the end of year 2. We are almost at the 2-year anniversary. Next month, March 10th, will be the 2-year anniversary. Will I do something special? I don't know. Maybe. Just depends on. Actually, we're a month away. It's on a Monday. I might do something maybe on like the weekend. We'll see what happens. But T, thank you, my guy. Appreciate you, man. Thanks, man.
Definitely. Thanks for having me in. Pitches and catches tomorrow, man. Let's get it.
Yes, sir. Also, and like I said, I will be live with my guy Hector from Uptown Sports tomorrow, talking about the Yankees, pitchers and catchers. Baseball season is officially back now that we've gotten rid of that terrible football season. Baseball is upon us. America's pastime. Let's go, baby.
All right, man.
But thank you guys for watching. As always, thank you for tuning into the Ace Avenue. I am yours truly, the Ace, with my guy T. Adios.